through the airwaves and all around the world. You're listening to Mr. Scott's podcast.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Mr. Scott from Mr. Scott's podcast. I hope you guys are all doing well out there. Today I'm going to share the testimony of another former professional wrestler, best known to the wrestling world by the name AJ Styles. His real name is Alan Neal Jones. And so today we're going to share his testimony about how he came to faith in Jesus Christ. So, with no further ado, ding ding!
Did you always have God in your life, or did you find him later?
I always believed, even as a little bitty kid, I always talked to God, and but I don't know if his name was Jesus, in my belief, but I just always knew there was somebody else, like I wasn't alone. And as I got older, it wasn't until high school until I actually got saved. But then it doesn't mean I turned into this like, oh, I'm super Christian. Yeah. Because that wasn't at all. In fact, it was much worse than that.
Can you tell us that experience about how you got saved? What was going on before?
Oh, well, before I got saved, I was living with a girl. I was 16, living with a girl, and you can only imagine what happened. It's a miracle I didn't have any kids then. It was wrong, and when I got saved, there were a lot of things that popped up, and I made excuses of why it's okay to do these certain things with her because I loved her. Which, if I loved her, then I wouldn't have done these things because we weren't married, and I didn't. There's a lot of things I could throw out there, but anyway, I started making these excuses, and then it just why? It just dawned on me I am not going to marry this girl. Why am I? What's going on? Wait a minute. And so I just believe it was all these questions that needed to be answered. And it was when I got saved that they started needing the answers to the questions.
But did somebody reach out to you? How did that whole process work?
Oh, well, I went to a judgment house. I don't know if you're familiar with a judgment house.
No.
So usually it's around Halloween and a church puts it on. And it's a play or an act. And a group of kids would go into the room, and we'd sit down and watch this kid wearing a blue shirt and this kid wearing a red shirt, and then they would put on their act of play or whatever, and then we moved to another room, but they'd be two different people, but you knew this guy was let's say Keith because he was wearing the blue shirt, and you knew this guy was Sam because he was wearing the red shirt. And anyway, so they play out this act, and you would experience maybe a car wreck. Something happened, both kids get killed in a car wreck, and you would go to heaven with one and you go to hell with the other.
Oh, wow.
And so when we got back to at the end of it, they sat us all down, and they said, if anybody wants to get saved, here's your opportunity, because and everybody's head was bowed and eyes were closed, and if anybody wants to get saved, you can raise your hand. Of course, I was like, well, I'm not saved, and while it didn't scare me, it just made me think that there's something more out there for me, although I did not want to go to hell. So I raised my hand because I'm sure that all my friends would certainly raise theirs. I was the only one.
Wow.
And so I was the only one who got saved that night, but it changed me.
Wow. And what did your friends say to you? Even, at that point.
I remember one of my best friends, and I said to him, I said, wow, I just don't feel saved. I don't really feel any different. And he's like, well, that's just Satan trying to tell you you're not. You're saved.
He was saying that.
Yeah, he said that to me.
But he didn't raise his hand. So how?
Yeah, but I guess I just didn't, he had got saved when he was a little bit younger or something like that. But, I think despite what anybody thinks, that just because you get saved doesn't mean that you turn into this majestical, super religious person. You got to have someone teach you, and you got to have someone show you how to be a man of God, how to be a woman of God. There's got to be that certain someone in your life, and that's why a youth, being part of a youth group is so important, because hopefully there's someone there, the youth pastor, that's this amazing person like I had, who showed me how to be a man. But all this didn't happen when I got saved. It was not until I started dating my now wife, who made me go to church with her, and met this youth pastor who really changed things around.
I see. Do you instill that in your children now?
I try to. I make sure that they know. My two oldest boys, they got saved.